Why does every retro gamer want this handheld? It's ROMB 360. This is the Miyoo Mini Plus, a predecessor to the original Miyoo Mini, which is a retro handheld that has thousands of pre-installed games on it, has 4 back buttons, and easily fits into your pocket. But how does it actually perform? Let's start with the specs, and subscribe to this channel so you can always get back to this video. Link and coupon are in the description. Under the hood of the Miyoo Mini, it has an ARM Cortex A7 dual-core processor at 1.2 GHz. It has a 3.5-inch IPS display at 640 by 480 resolution. It has 128 MB RAM, 64 GB storage, which you can take out and change, 3000 mAh rechargeable battery, USB-C charging with the included USB-C cable, and it even has Wi-Fi for NetPlay. These specs are identical to the original Miyoo Mini, so there's no increase in performance on the Miyoo Mini Plus. But it's all about the bigger screen, better ergonomics, and slightly bigger battery. The overall design is great and draws inspiration of the original Game Boy. It has a 90s see-through case and is big enough to play comfortably. The back buttons are also a great addition if you need more control in games like Street Fighter, Tekken, and more. I do like that the middle back buttons are slightly elevated, so it's easier to use them. The D-pad and regular buttons are good, nothing special, but it gets the job done. Same goes for the volume buttons, the power button at the top, which is indicated with a green light, and it has a menu button in the middle. Then we have the start and select button and a single speaker on the right bottom. If you want to power it down, press and hold the power button and it will shut down completely. On the back you also have a removable battery, which is kind of difficult, and I do have to say it will take some effort to remove it, so that could be a small improvement point, but maybe for the next version, that you can remove the battery in case needed. Closing the battery cap is fairly easy, as you can see here. Furthermore, at the bottom you can plug in a 3.5mm jack plug if you want to use a headset, and it also includes a micro SD card of 64 GB, which you can remove easily and can also replace with your own SD card if you want to have a bigger size or put your own operating system or games on it, which is great. You also get a free included screen protector, which is great to keep your Miyoo Mini Plus safe. The performance. First, let's dive into the menu, and after that test some games so you can see how it performs. So the pre-installed menu is fairly basic. You have your recent tab, where you can obviously see your recently played games, as you can see here. If you press the menu button, you can also clear that list. If you go back, you also have a favorite tab, in case you've set up your favorite games and want to play them quickly without having to search them. Then you have your games list, which we will jump in a minute. We have RetroArch on it, an app option, which is mainly filled with some Asian apps, and last but not least you have the settings tab. Here you can also power it off by the software, change the brightness from 1 to 10. As mentioned, you can set up your Wi-Fi in case you want to play with a friend. You can change the color illumination, UE, saturation and contrast to your liking, and if you change that, you need to reboot manually to apply those changes. Furthermore, you can set up your own language, key mapping, change the volume by software, but you can also do that with those buttons on the side, change your own themes, set it to hibernate, check for some fixes, and reset it to factory settings. But let's get to the fun part. When we open the game tab, you can see there are a lot of consoles here, from the original Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and many more. As you can see, we also have some arcade games, MAIN Plus, Neo Geo, and so on and so forth. The battery life is about 5 to 6 hours on a full charge, so you have some sort of an idea how long you can play on the Miyoo Mini Plus. When we look at the original Nintendo games list, on the right bottom you can see how many games are included. As you can see here, it's well over 6,000, which is absolutely amazing because we haven't even counted all the other consoles, and I've scrolled down the list for some time and I haven't seen any double games on it, which is a good point. However, I did see some Asian version of games on it, so the text will be in Asian, just to be aware of that. But I did see some games on it which I don't think actually exist, like Street Fighter 5 on the original Nintendo, so there must be some own version of the games on it, which isn't a big deal because I think most of your favorite games will be on here. If you're having issues finding them, just press the menu button and at the bottom option, you can just search them easily. For example, if we type in Metroid and press start, you can see it finds those games within a second. Also, when you press the menu button, you can easily add them to your favorites. Another thing that I noticed is that when you open the Super Nintendo games list, you don't see any box art, but when you open the main Plus games list, it does have some box art. And on the arcade games list, you have CPS 1, 2 and 3, so if you open one of these, you get some extra games, which is pretty cool. So as I mentioned, the original Nintendo has a lot of games on it, but if you compare it to other consoles like the Game Boy, it is a lot less. Still, there are almost 2,000 games, which is great, but if you click on the PlayStation 1 games, it only has 24 on it. In total, there are maybe over 10,000 games on it, which is fantastic, because this is just a system you can pick up and play instantly, but if you want something extra, you definitely need to put on your own software on it or your own games. Just keep that in mind. I will show you some consoles and some gameplay so you can have a quick look at how it performs. Feel free to skip through it and watch your favorite consoles, and then we will continue this video. In the meanwhile, don't forget to like and subscribe to make sure that you can always get back to this video. And don't forget, I have a link for you and a coupon in the comments and description. Another thing that is great is that when you press the home button during gaming, you can save your progress and load it anytime you want. On some consoles, you can also press the trigger buttons to fast forward the gameplay, which is great if you don't have a lot of patience. Now that you've seen what the Miyoo Mini Plus is capable of, what does it actually cost? So what is my personal verdict? Some good things of the Miyoo Mini Plus are the big IPS screen. The screen is big enough, bright enough and clear enough to play all your favorite retro games. The overall design is high quality, the battery life is decent, it has 4 great back buttons on it, so you have some more controls in your games. It has lots of pre-installed games on it, it includes a screen protector, and it is Wi-Fi for net play. There are some improvement points though, which is that there isn't a case included to completely protect it, but I'm not quite sure if it's actually needed, but just keep this in mind when you're going to buy this. Furthermore, the sound is sometimes distorted, which could be better, but it's not annoying or so. And also the battery can be difficult to remove. However, you probably won't do that a lot anyway. So now you know my overall verdict, so what does it cost and where can I buy it? The Miyoo Mini Plus with all these pre-installed games currently costs $53 and is a great buy for yourself, for your kids, or maybe for some of your friends or family members. Overall, I would say it's definitely worth its price, so if you want to pick this one up, make sure to use the link in the description and don't forget the coupon so you get an excellent price for this fantastic retro handheld. And make sure to subscribe and click here to see the next video. See you there.